All right, Shalom.
Shalom, brothers.
We are Hebrew Israelites. We come to teach the truth of the Bible, to tell the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans your true nationality according to the Bible, which is that you are Hebrew Israelites by bloodline and descent. But before we get started, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Bashir Yahushua Bahara Kakadash.
double honor to our elders and apostles, the great millstone who taught us this truth. Peace and blessings to the elect. All right, and we also want to preach the downfall of America, which is Babylon the Great, according to the scriptures, that it is going to be burned up with thermal nuclear missiles in a very near future. But before that, you're going to have a great falling of this country from the inside out. All right, you so-called white people who are the Edomites according to the Bible, you are the devil that the Bible speaks of, and your nation will be completely obliterated and wiped off the face of the earth. After your kingdom falls, you'll serve 1,000 years in slavery.
Well, since you just started like that, we're gonna get on these Edomites, and this is the reason why. All right. See, this is the thing. Everybody always sit here and says, "Live and let live." Right? Let bygones be bygones. Even the Lord says, "Have peace with all men if possible." But how can you have peace with a man, or a society, or a people who has a perpetual hatred unto you? All right. Got it tuned.
You ain't see how that shit lifted?
Let me get this is the book of Psalms 10, starting at 1. Isaiah. It's the book of Isaiah, starting at 10. Starting at the top, to the point. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have to prescribe. Here's the point: to turn aside the needy from judgment, and take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
Yeah, and that's why these so-called white people, you Edomites, y'all gonna have a great judgment coming. That's why it says, woe to you. Woe going into destruction, because y'all write these laws that are oppressive really unto the so-called blacks, Latino, Native Americans, the impoverished. And you got this, currently, this, what they call it, the beautiful bill, Trump's beautiful bill or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That apparently is supposed to be passed. That's really going to cause a lot of trouble and strife for our people. The so-called blacks, Latino, Native Americans. It's going to take away our health care, our benefits. And ultimately, this kingdom is already set up against us, right? So we legit have to fight, bro, each and every day just to live, right? The scriptures say that our life shall hang in doubt.
Yeah, kind of no assurance about that life.
No assurance of that life. So this is the life we live on a daily basis. And me and the brother was just talking about how where we work in the county. So in Philadelphia, it's a high Israelite population. Even amongst the cops, in the city is a high Israelite population of police officers.
It is.
So in Philly is a dangerous city. It's one of the most dangerous cities in the country. And because of that, when you have an influx of violence and poverty, usually the police, they don't do as much profiling. Unless they're looking for drugs, then usually they have intel. But usually they have bigger fish to fry here in Philadelphia.
Right. Yes.
You can get away with murder here, like not literally, but you can have expired tags, expired registration. A cop they don't even worry about running plates unless they're looking for warrants. Right. They can run your plate, see your inspection, and 3 months past due, your registration 6 months past due, but they don't see no warrants on your shit, so they're like, all right, whatever, let me go.
Yeah.
They got bigger fish to fry. But out in where I work in the counties, the suburbs of Philadelphia, and then the brother Shalawami, he works over the bridge in Jersey, in the rich area of Marlton. They profile Israelites like crazy. I'm talking about they pull you over for the lightest stuff. I get pulled over for my license plate color. Dumb shit, man. And then they write tickets for every little thing. Trying to get you to come out the car, trying to check your stuff. You know what I mean? So we are literally oppressed here in this world. And that's why I said they try to take away the rights of the poor, which the poor of this world are the Israelites. And although we're poor of this world, we're rich in faith. That's why the Most High, if you don't have the Most High with you, you're not going to stand in the time to come. All right, but you know, that's why we come out and we preach His word, is to talk against the society too. Because we're really bringing Esau down from the inside out through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shai. Us shining light on their skeletons in their closets and bringing out the truth, that knowledge is getting out there and people are starting to fight against it. That's why Jacob Trump is going to happen ultimately. You're going to have a sedition because people are starting to see the bullshit. Excuse my language. They're starting to see the crap of this man's society.
And if I may too, right now, I'm in the middle of this shit as far as knowledge base. Right now, the entire city of Philadelphia, from trash trucks, water companies, sectors, transportation, they're all going on strike.
Yep.
And now they're in a position where they're actually doing it like where it's going to be highly effective, because it's a difference between 1 or 2 or 3 people doing something. The whole collective is actually in on it now. And it's all due to doing the system of the Edomites for why they got to be doing it. You know, more pay, hard work, and also in these particular unions are governed by majority of Jakes. You know what I mean? They're working super hard, and Esau got them at a system where he's paying them real less for labors, so he's striking.
Right. Yep. And it's effective because their job is literally maintain the society.
The society, correct.
And maintain the city,
Yep,
the township. Yo, you trying to talk about no trash collection?
No trash collection, bro. They not with it.
Depending on how long that lasts, man.
Already.
That's gonna take toll.
So lucky to just jump into your conversation. As I was driving from work, you know where that that abandoned right at the end of my block. You know how like you go up Devereaux. You know how.
Talking about right over here.
Yeah, right on Devereaux. Remember how they got all that stuff and they were starting to build stuff over there? Along the gate is just trash bag. It's been
Because when
literally
y'all trash day?
Monday. They picked up my trash.
Okay.
So
I just did.
Yesterday was the day that everybody got looked out for, and now it's a wrap.
But literally, if you drive by, it was literally when I was driving by, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It was just piles and piles of trash bags. Mind you, I live in a pretty affluent area now. This ain't Trash Kingdom. Do you know what these streets about to look like? This is how you know this place is on the way out. Basura. Trash, bro. This whole place is trash, man. And guess what? This is Esau's kingdom. This is literally what they're worth, and this is what they're going to get. The kingdom is systematically breaking down, brick by brick. You know how have you ever seen the show Snowfall? I built this shit brick by brick. Yahweh Shai said, I'm going to break this shit down. Brick by... Matter of fact, get that. There's no stone that shall be left upon itself. Beautiful, huh? Brick by brick, this stone is coming down. And this, and mind you think the trash pile up in the city, you understand? That's going to be what? What happens when trash piles up? Pests, bugs, roaches, rodents, rats, cats. Things are going to up. It's going to be an uptick in those things. Distress, smells, irritability. Because mind you ever smell something? You're like, man, what the fuck is that smell? You walking up the street now.
Bad smells are irritating.
It's going to be irritating. What happens when people are irritated, especially with the heat? Mixed with the heat, the hot summer.
Violence, bro.
Violence. And I'm only giving perspective here, right? People only react based on their environments. When you have a clean, remember perfectly what they say. You know how they say a clean home is a clear mind.
It's hard to really be creative in a cluttered space.
Exactly.
I got you real quick. Matthew 24 and 2 is the point. And Yahweh Shai said, no, I read 1. And Yahweh Shai went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahweh Shai said unto them, which is symbolic for everything, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
So the Lord is basically saying, and this is our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, our Lord and Savior is basically saying, look around you, brethren. Everything you see around you, all the society, all the buildup of this society that you see around you, every stone, every monument, every building, all of this is going to have to crumble and be destroyed and gone. Then the kingdom of heaven will be established. Like the brother was saying when he first opened up camp, this kingdom has to fall for our kingdom to be built on top of its ashes. Now, not literal, because we're not going to build our kingdom over here on this land, You know, our kingdom is going to be on the world itself. This land is going to be a monument for us to remember how wicked Esau was and what we should not to do. Actually, it's not even for us, because the laws are going to be written with our inward parts. It's for the other nations to look over and say, damn, let's not mess with these Israelites, because look what they do when it comes to destroying a kingdom and a nation. Right? Because we understand that even though it says these other nations are sending these ICBM missiles from the ends of the earth, it's all the Lord's doing and the Lord's will. Perfect example. How do we know that? You see videos of chariots shooting missiles out of the sky left and right. Why? Because those missiles weren't meant to hit what they were going to hit. Why? Because it wasn't the Lord's will. But the missiles that are going to hit this place are all meant.
Shalom to you.
Shalom, shalom.
Let me get this 2 Peter. 2 Peter 2:6. It says, start at 5. And spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly.
See? So the Sodom and Gomorrah, the twin cities, and the neighboring cities were all destroyed. What? To be what? A reminder unto the nations for what not to do. And guess what? It came back full circle. So what do you think the Lord's going to do? Same way Sodom and Gomorrah was playing out, it's the same way you got Israel, because Israel is the capital for the alphabet community. America is the poster child for the alphabet community. And all of Europe and everything that the so-called white man touches is a poster child for all the wickedness that are all gathered together. Right? The same civilizations. So the Lord made a memorial, not a memorial, but the Lord made an example out of Sodom and Gomorrah and all the neighboring cities. And now the Lord is going to say, well, look, my kingdom is now about to be established on this earth. So now I'm going to make you an entire kingdom. That's Europe, Israel, and all the other places that so-called white people live. Australia, British Empire, Germany, all these places where all these motherfuckers live, were all going to have to be utterly destroyed. So the other nations, they usually, and most of the other nations have melanin, if not all of them, they're going to look up and go, see what them Edomites was doing? Don't do that. Now, mind you, the rule on the earth at that time is going to be the kingdom of heaven. And the law, statutes, and commandments, according to the Levitical laws and throughout the Bible, because it's 613 and 618. 613 laws, statutes, commandments are going to be more or less, because I'm pretty sure there's some stuff that we don't know about, are going to be the rule of law on the planet. All right, but before we get there, this place has to be destroyed. What's that precept that says I can't get my thoughts again. You give me another instruction, bro. Now it just popped in my head. It just popped right out. It's a destruction zone.
I'll bring Isaiah 34 while you look at it.
Yeah, while you doing that, I'm gonna think about it.
Yo, I've been listening to a lot of brothers do their camps or whatever. This whole destruction of Esau and the bring down is literally because of the slaying and the of the poor. It's all about Israelites. It's all it's about.
Yeah, because of the controversy of Zion.
Zion. That's what I get right now. Yep. Isaiah 34. I'm gonna start at 5. It says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice of Bosra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with the blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion."
For the controversy of Zion, because what is it that Esau relishes in? Slaying the poor. What is that Esau relishes in? Destroying the weak, or destroying the lowly, right? Think about it. I watched a video the other day. Literally, it was a bunch of old war vets, Israeli war vets, right? And they were literally giving testimonials of what they would do in war. One of them asked, "How many people did you kill?" He says, "Man, so many, I can't even tell." "How many children did you kill?" "I killed lots of children." And they were laughing about it. These Israelis don't care about if you're human. It's either you're Israeli or you're not. If you're a Zionist or you're not. But they were relishing in the dead bodies. They were relishing in how many people were killed. One of them was saying, "Yeah, I remember one time we would just walk up out of camp and they were all on the ground, and I just picked up a machine gun and started unloading the clip." And like, mind you, this is an old devil. It's probably like in his 80s, 90s, and he's talking about what he did to these innocent people, right? But then they want us to talk about, they want us to admonish the Holocaust, right? But they've killed more people per capita through war and their policies than anything has ever happened to them. They like to cry wolf when they like to cry, act like a sheep when they're the actual wolves. And I can call them lions, they're wolves.
This is Sirach 34, and I think I'm going to start at 19. The point is really in 21. The Most High is not pleased with the offerings of the wicked, neither is he pacified for sin by the multitude of sacrifices. Whoso bringeth an offering of the goods of the poor doeth as one that killeth the son before his father's eyes. And 21 is the point. The bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him, therefore, is a man of blood. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is a bloodshed.
And mind you, we know they do this. They're doing this at an all-time scale right now. They got rolled back DEI. They're now they just rolled back the Haiti treaty where it was allowing the immigrants to come over here from the war-torn country. Now they're trying to deport the Haitians now, right? It's not just the Spanish, it's the Haitians. And then what they're doing is they're systematically getting rid of people and replacing their jobs with AI technology and robots. So look, they're defrauding the poor. They knowing that a man has a right or should have the right to work for his living. But what they're saying is, we don't care about you. We're going to stop you from working so you can't live, right? And now who controls this entire narrative? The Amalekites, the Ashkenaz, those who say they are Jews and are not. Now this is not me speaking as a hate crime. This is honest truth.
Same shit. Like if you struggling to keep up with your expensive gas bill, what they'll do in the middle of the dead winter, they'll cut your gas off, and then you don't have no heat. And you got kids in the house and shit. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of stuff that these devils do.
Or the fact that they'll cut your water off when water itself should be a what God-given right.
Right.
Free.
Yeah,
It should be free. But what did they do? They created different.
Your taxpayer dollars should pay for
water.
It should pay for the ecosystem to clean the water to have the system.
Yeah.
That's what your taxpayer dollars should go towards. Not you have to then you pay your taxes. You do all these things. You pay your property taxes. You already paid the income taxes. Then you got to pay your property taxes. And now even with the property taxes, now you got to pay for water.
Yep.
Like it's crazy. And then
Esau's
they'll cut
evil
your
as
water
fuck.
off.
Even the family structure. Like
Then it's illegal to collect rainwater. Like,
yep. And then they say it's illegal to collect rainwater, or it's illegal to create towns. Did you know that if you bought let's say we went and bought like 100 acres of land.
Yeah,
right?
I've been hearing that.
100 acres of land. Guess what the government says? You can only have one house on that land. Why? Why can't I have multiple houses on my land?
Unless you go through the ordinances of getting the licenses
Nope,
to
they won't
build
let you.
it up.
They
No,
won't.
but because you know how you can create like a little community.
No, you can't.
It would have to be within the township though.
No, they won't let you anymore.
Because building a community
What-
is self-sustaining.
No, but they don't want you to be self-sustaining.
No, I'm not talking about a personal community. I'm talking about if you go buy a bunch of land and you want to build townhouses to sell.
That's different.
That's what I mean. That's
because they're gonna
they're gonna
Because
take profit.
They're
off
gonna
that.
take profit off of that.
That's the only.
But if I
time
go
that
and
you
buy 100 acres
And
of
you wanna
land,
build houses for
and I
your
want
family and
to
shit.
build a house for you, house for you,
Nah.
house for you, house for you, and we
A
gonna
family compound.
and then we gonna sit here and build our own farm on our land, right? With aquaponics, where we get our own sustaining fish and all that other
Water filtration
filtration system. They're gonna sit here and say illegal.
Yep.
Why? Because they don't want you to have anything. They want
Solar power, wind wheel power.
Nope, they not with all. They not with none of that. Not with none of that.
That's why that whole off-grid living and shit is.
It is off-grid
It's kind
living.
of a facade.
It is a facade, because eventually you got to come down into town anyway to buy certain supplies. Nothing is the way what it once was. See, this is Esau's way of oppressing a people, oppressing a man, right? They rob the poor. right? They robbed the father. Mind you, they created fatherless households. How did they get our women to turn on us, right? We'll go back to the early 1950s, the first wave of feminism, right? What was the thing that they did, right? They told women that being a wife and being a stay-at-home mother and not having any debt or any responsibilities other than just taking care of your children, which should be a joy, means you're less than. So then it made these women believe that you are worthless if you're just being a natural woman. You are only worth something when you're a woman trying to be a man. And then why did they do that? Right? Why did they do that? Does anybody even know? They did that because they wanted to be able to tax a household more than once. If I have multiple people working in the household, I can tax them all and make more money. But when it's just a man working, I can only tax that household one time. So he turned these women into motherfucking money presses and then told them that your life isn't fulfilled by being a mother. Your life is only fulfilled by being a gear in a system.
Being a career woman.
And if you don't believe so, why? And then they're going to sit here and lie to you. A woman's reservation or a woman's currency or a woman's worth comes from her chastity. Why is that? Now, a woman will say, feminist movement will say, oh, that's a man's way of explaining it. Oh, so men are the reason. Men give women their worth. Well,
in theory, yes.
In theory, yes. Your sexuality is equated to what? Your worth. And then who gives you your worth? Men. Why do we give you your worth? Because we're the opposite sex, and you're trying to attract us for some kind of gain, right? Well, women are naturally hypergamous by nature, meaning they want to be. Their natural proclivity is to what? Want a strong male that can provide and protect. No matter how feminist she is, she still wants to get back down to the fact that I want a man that's going to have me turning my brain off.
Woman wants a weak man.
Exactly.
That's why all women want a man that makes more money than them, that's smarter than them, that's stronger than them, that's more intelligent than them.
Exactly. Yeah. What's that?
You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know what they do is that they'll destroy the man to make it seem like, okay, now they destroyed the whole family structure. So now they told the women, okay, you're not, if you are a stay-at-home wife or mom, you're less than, and you're at risk because this man can just leave you for someone else. But they destroyed the whole structure to think that a man would even do that. Where as a real man would take care of a woman that's taking care of him.
A man's natural proclivity is to what? Provide and protect. You know how we know? Why do men go up to social? Matter of fact, I'm going to put the Bible down for a second. Everything a man does on this earth, besides this truth, is for a woman.
For a woman. It is.
You get a nice car? For a woman. You get a job? For a woman. You want a raise? For a woman. You want a house? For a woman. You want jewelry? For a woman. You want nice clothes? For a woman. Everything is for what? Acquire the pursuit of women.
Because the Lord, now we pick the scriptures
Now, mind you, we put the scriptures back up, and it says the glory of a man is what? It's a woman. So this is how Esau. Now, mind you, where did all this come from? I gotta go to the cheap house of Esau, and it's what? The Amalekites, the Ashkenazi Jews. They're the ones who created this entire narrative. They created communism. They created the money system the way it is, the monetary system the way it is. They've created the redlining. They are the ones who are the evil on the planet that are pulling the strings behind closed doors, making all you people what? Fight and implode. Because they all are trying to get to one thing, and that is the New World Order. With New World Order behind the Noahide laws. We want the kingdom of heaven behind the law, statutes, and commandments. They want the New World Order behind the Noahide laws. Right? Meaning, you have no power, no rights, and own nothing. Only my people own everything. And if you want something, you come to us for it. Right? This is literally the narrative of the Israeli or Zionist state. But in contrast, this is also the narrative of Yahweh Shemiel Shah. But the difference is this. When the wicked are in rule, the people mourn. But when the righteous are in rule, the people shall rejoice. That is the difference. You want us to rule. You don't want them to rule anymore. Why? Look at the opioid epidemic. Look at the war-torn areas. Look at the prices of everything going up. Who do you think is controlling the markets? It's the same families, the same Zionist families, the same people who control the media, the medical system, the education system, and every other system you could possibly think of. They control it. But all you people don't want to see it for what it is. But we come out here and tell you bold as lions that, yo, these are your enemies. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, these are your enemies. You want to know why you're in this plight? Yeah, we transgressed the laws and broke the covenant, but at the same time, who are the perpetrators for oppressing you? Who are the perpetrators who are oppressing the world? This is why the whole world, look at the oceans. You got fish don't even want to be in the water. You see all these whales beaching themselves and just dying on purpose. I don't even want to be in this water no more. It's too contaminated by these fucking Edomites. Every animal on the planet is mourning because of these FJs, man.
Shit, I low-key think sometimes deer run into cars just so they kill themselves.
They be like, hey, man, let me just get the hell up out of here, man. Let me go be in the spirit world.
I refuse to believe that they're that dumb.
Well,
They'll see cars coming fast as shit and it's like, "Ooh."
but it's also instances where a deer will see their destination and their depth perception is not like ours. So they'll go, I think I can make this.
Right. I think I could
Dude.
make this. Yeah.
Exactly. So you also got to look at that from that perspective. But a lot of it could be, you know. But I say this to say, us as a people, now mind you, right? Now mind you,
Shalom, Maria.
Shalom, Maria.
Come on, bro.
Most of the people who are in Congress, the Senate, and the seat, and all that, Congress, the judicial systems and everything, they're all what? FJs. They're all Zionists. They all have their allegiance to what? Israel. Why is that? So when you see that the social justice reform is at an all-time low, right? You see that our people are still snared in traps and holes and in prison houses. Who are the people who are perpetrating all of this? Who is pushing this narrative, right? Who is the people who are destroying the natural essence of life? I'm talking about from the air, the water, the food. Everything they're doing is all geared to destruction. Why are they like this? Right? Now you go back, now mind you, I've been doing more studying, right? I went back down to 1933, right? When they talk about how the Nazi Germany was trying to rule the world and they were the ones who were evil and all this, but then you realize that in 1933, the people who declared war on Germany was what? The Zionist Jewish state. And why did they do it? Why did they do it? Most people don't even know this. And I just found this out because I was doing my studying, being on my watch. I found out that the main reason why the Jewish people, went to war against Germany is because Germany was tired of what? The banking systems, the loan systems, the high interest rates. So what they did was they dispelled all the Jewish banks. Y'all can't have banks in our country no more. And this was made who? It made the Zionists mad. So they said, call to war, all Jewish people from around the world. We're going to war with Germany. This was in 1933. Look it up yourself. So all of this was over what? Money and power. Communism was created by who? Them. The LGBT community was created by who? Them. Right? Remember, the Lord says, I will make a memorial, I will make a reminder not to do with Sodom and Gomorrah. Who are the people that perpetuates and pushes this narrative? They are. They know they are. Who owns all the porn industries, the porn websites? They do. So all the deplorables, if they are God's chosen people, why are they pushing the most evil on the planet? Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Sound like Hitler was a hero.
I'm not saying that man wasn't evil. I'm not saying that man was evil. I'm going to make this very clear. I'm not saying that man wasn't evil.
You know how you.
But I also understand why people do things that they do.
You know how you
because
watch
if I'm protecting,
or a villain.
if I'm 1 second, if I'm protecting my own, no, you good, bro. If I'm protecting my own, it's me versus you.
Right.
So if I gotta kill all of you to protect my own, what do you think I'm going to do? If I gotta sit, because mind you, evil is in the eye of the beholder. Good and righteousness is in the eye of the beholder.
It can be very subjective.
It's very subjective because look,
without any concrete like the scriptures.
Hitler believed that he was doing a good work for Germany, because before Hitler became into power, what was happening in Germany? They were imploding. They were going bankrupt. They were in a super great depression. Right? People couldn't eat, take care of their families. And he basically said the reason why is because of these loans with high interest rates. Actually, if you go back into history, how many times has that repeated themselves? Look up the Jewish state and how many times they were dispelled out of a country. Look how many times, don't take my word for it, go look it up. How many times were they dispelled out of a country? And they were dispelled out of a country because they would go into a country and dismantle it. Take over with their loans, take over the media, take over the banks, take over the monetary system. So then guess what started happening? Every country would start looking around like, yo, our country's getting destroyed. Kings would be like, kill them all. Get rid of them. So then they try to use that as, no, why are you guys doing this to us? We didn't do anything. You're literally are fucking cancers. You go into a place and you just systematically grow and grow and consume, and it's never enough. You ever see that little meme with the Jewish boy like,
I got some of that.
you are evil. Go ahead.
Micah 2, 1 and 2. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
They do.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
They do.
Because it is the power of their hand.
Because in the power of their hands. What do? Try to consume as much power as possible. Think about it. You go into the judicial system. Most of the judges are what? Jewish. Most of the lawyers are what? Jewish. How do we know that? Yo, how'd you get off? You know, my lawyer, Jew. How do you think you got off? Because Jews stay together. So hey, yo, bro, scratch my back. I'm gonna get him to pay us $100,000. I'll give you 30%. It's 30 grand just to get him off. All right, bet. That's why they say you gotta pay to play. Who created that system? It's not based off of actual law and standard that the Israelites would have on this earth. Because we will have everybody governed and fair. We'll be very impartial about our judicial system, which is the law, statutes, commandments. Where there's no law, there's no sin.
There's no respect of persons in our law.
And there's no respect to the person. So it ain't going to be no pay more, I'm going to get you off. It's going to be like, what did you do? You're going to go onto a righteous judge. How many times you see about our black and brown, so-called black and brown brothers and sisters getting hemmed up on a sink? So a white man stole $1,000. So-called black man sold $1,000. White man gets probation, slap on the wrist. Black man 2 to 3 years in prison for theft, grand larceny, all this extra charges. Oh, and he did this, and he did that, and he was trying to avoid us, and then he swung on a cop. All these extra charges so they could throw him under. Right there. See, unrighteous decrees. See, our system is going to be lawful. It's going to be fair. But guess what? Esau is running his fucking tab up. And guess what? It's all starting to come full circle, man. That cup is being passed as we speak. Literally, it's like this. Esau's fingertips are touching it now. At first, he's like, that shit ain't never coming over here. But now it's like this. They starting to touch the cup. They ain't got a grasp yet, but they starting to touch that cup. Go ahead.
Micah 2 and 2. And they convey fields and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
We see that on the world stage. Every time the so-called white man goes to war with a country, it's for some kind of game on their end. Either they want a decentralized system where they can put their own bank in, or they're behind democracy. We're trying to bring you democracy. That country was fine without you. They didn't need your democracy. Their laws and their systems and the way they did things in their culture was working for them. They had, who are you to sit here and to oppose your will?
I think your way is the way of life.
And your way is the way of life. This is them, right? They'll go and say, oh, weapons of mass destruction, so they can go bomb, take gold, take silver, uranium, precious metals, oil, power, just so they can have something. But then hide it behind a fake-ass democracy. All, mind you, and let's be realistic, matter of fact, since World War I, all of those wars were fought and started by the Jewish state. Go look it up yourself. World War I, II, and now III about to come around. All created by and for the same people. America going to war with Iran? Why is America going to war with Iran? What will be the purpose? What are we gaining from them? Nothing. It's because the chief house of Esau, Amalek, wants it. Because they want their world domination. But this is why it says in Job, there shall be no quietness in their belly. In Job, there shall be no quietness in their belly. Right? What does it mean by that? As soon as they feel like they're getting closer and closer to the New World Order, the Lord is going to do what? Put them in dire straits. Simple as that. What you got?
Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8 and 9. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the
Ooh.
kingdom is translated from
one people to another. So, that's a perfect precept. Why? They're literally building a kingdom right now, which is called the New World Order. This is what they're trying to build. This is why all this riches got by deceit, missiles, mind you. How did Israel, that was created in 1948 Jewish State Balfour Declaration, do your research, how do they already have nuclear weapons? They stole the technology from where? America. America did nothing about it. Doesn't America usually go after anybody to do anything to them? The Jewish state stole it from them. Stole uranium and the plants and then built it. And usually if anybody starts having nuclear reactors around the world, what's the first thing that America does? Police it. Hey, you got to allow us to go in and check your facilities and let us see what you're doing and make sure you're doing everything the safe way. Do you know that the only place that America's not allowed to go in and check their nuclear facilities is Israel? Why is that? Because these motherfuckers are evil.
Same team too.
They're not on the same team.
They own.
Well, yeah, well, mind you, they own America, and everybody that has any position of power in America, at least 98% or 99% of them are all what? So-called Jewish people. Literally, everybody in Congress, almost everybody in the media, the police system, judicial system, and all the different systems, the housing markets, the music industry, everything you listen to, they're all owned by the same group of people. So then when you look at the narrative and why they're pushing so much hate, destruction, they take what? The Bible out of schools, but you're allowed to put trans and devil worship in schools. But I thought these are the people of God. Because I could have swore that when the righteous are on war, the people shall rejoice. There should be order on the planet. The war will be no more. All the weapons of mass destruction will be destroyed. Doesn't it say that in the Bible? So why is there an uptick in war, uptick in famine, death, destruction, wickedness, and devil worship? Because these are the people of Satan, the synagogue of Satan. Who worships in synagogues all over the world? There's only one group of people. Even the true Israelites don't worship in synagogues. We don't even call them synagogues. Exactly. And mind you, you can call this whatever you want. Anti-Semitic. How? Because I am Shemitic. How am I anti myself? Make that make sense. Don't try to hide behind a word because the truth is being thrown back into your face. All right, go ahead.
All right. Ecclesiastes 10:9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such an one setteth his own soul to sell, because while he liveth, casteth away his vows. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die.
Exactly. They are kings today. They're so puffed up in their pride that if you ever watch, go on YouTube right now or TikTok and type in people debating Jewish people, right? And literally you will see the pride in their faces. I watched a video the other day where they have like Christian churches in Israel, and literally these Jewish people are spitting and mocking and hitting and punching these women just because they were saying Christ, Jesus. They were walking out of a church and they had a cross with them, and they were hitting them and pushing them and kicking them. Where's your humanity at? You have none. Your spirit or your soul was not upright in you since birth. And we're not expecting you to do anything other than what your natural proclivity is, and that's wickedness. But what we're out here to do is to tell you boldly to your face that your end is coming. And also to tell the people that it's high time to wake up out of sleep, because the closer we get to your end, the closer we get to our salvation. And in turn, if our people are joined hands with you, they are going to die with you. And those who want to join hands with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua are going to be saved up out of it. And this is the whole narrative right here. This great spiritual war is unfolding in front of our faces faster and faster. And most people think it's happening gradually. Oh, it's taking too long. No, this shit is like lightning speed. And if you can't see that, there's something wrong. You ain't got that eye salve. You're not seeing it the way it is. Because trust me, we see it. Look at this. Philadelphia right now, all of a sudden, strikes with the trash. Now, all of a sudden, I got to go take my trash, put my trash in my car, and drive 10 minutes up the road, because I already looked it up for us too, where there's two of them near us.
Well, I don't live in Philly, so. Oh, shit, yeah.
All right, well, I'm just take my trash to you 3 minutes up the road and drop it off in front of your shit. and then they gonna pick it up. When's your trash day?
I'm on the county. I live right off the county line.
I live right on the county line, but in Philadelphia. So here's the line. Here's me. All I had to do was go literally half a mile over, and I'm out of Philly. But whatever, it's cool. It's only 10 minutes up the road, literally. So if it's 10 minutes from me, it's like 4 minutes from you.
Wait, is it that direction?
No, going up.
Going towards me?
Like going up, going towards you. Like when I say it's right there, I looked it up. It was literally right there. So if I gotta drop my trash off, but look, the only reason why I brought up the trash thing is this. That's society crumbling.
Get a pickup truck.
Yo, somebody already did that. They're offering $20 if you got a pickup truck. Anybody want a quick little job? You can put a sign on your car and say we pick up trash for $20, $20 a bag or $20 a household or something, and you can make money. You drive around, people gonna beep 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 beep. Yo, $20. I'm gonna put this on your truck. I'm not gonna lie. Anybody, any Israelites out there who looking to make some money,
I might do it. Bro.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
I got access to a truck. Put everything in the bed.
Get yourself a little pickup truck.
Just throw a lining on the bottom.
Yep,
keep
throw a
the bed
little
clean.
tarp on the bottom, wrap that joint around, and literally, let's be realistic. You ride around right now, and mind you, that's a good mantra. If you don't work, you don't eat.
Hey, you gotta be creative, bro.
You gotta be creative,
gotta
man.
Ride on,
but I'm throwing it out there.
Anybody?
Anybody that got a truck, you know what I'm saying? Got a truck, or even
A
if
van.
Or a van, or man, fuck that. Rent a U-Haul, you'll make more money anyway. Rent a U-Haul for the day,
It might cost you $50 for the day.
$50 for the day, but then you've been made $300-400 because all you gotta do is drive up and down the street on trash day. Mine is on Mondays. Go up and down my street, yo, $20 a house. Man, bro, you'll eat them alive, bro. That's neither here or there. That's neither here or there. But that's how we know that this place is imploding. This place is coming to an end because now no one's gonna pick up our trash.
We'll see how long.
What does society come to? What does society come to?
We need something long term. This should be trying to build a little fast. I'm saying.
Nah, bro, no. All of this is growing pains.
Yeah.
This is all growing pains. Yo, Ariel, what's that precept that talks about how as a woman travailing, like how as the growing pains get closer and closer, that's how we know we're getting closer to the end. I forgot what the precept is. If brother, you still on this joint and you know where it's at, man.
It's not even growing pains.
It's not growing pains. It's like
contractions.
It's like contractions. Like as a contraction get closer and closer to how we know we're getting to the end. If any brothers on the comment boards know where that's at, or if you brothers can find it, I don't know exactly where it's at, Salakia, but I know there's one talking about how we know we're getting closer to the end. But man, I'm saying all this to give y'all understanding of how evil these devils are, man. Their kingdom has to crumble, man, because they're too evil. The Lord is not going to bless a kingdom that does nothing but destroy, right? I can even give you a testimonial that just happened today about how these Edomites really are. Matter of fact, I'll even give it to you. This is how wicked they are. There's this family, this old decrepit woman, Edomite woman, and her daughter comes into my store. And they need my help. So can we speak to your manager? I come out, I come helping them. And I've been helping them for the past 3 days trying to fix their issues. Some issue that was created by customer care. It wasn't with my location. But obviously if you walk into our building, we're going to try to help you. I've been giving these people nothing but respect, empathy. I've been being nothing but nice and going out my way to fix an issue that we didn't even create. I had one of my employees, because I was leaving work to try to get her to hurry up and get to camp today. I was leaving work to get to camp. And my employee calls me literally as I'm driving home. I just left these people. I've just been helping them for the past 3 days. I thought they were nice people. Now mind you, know thy enemy. Let me tell you how, because my employee couldn't fix an issue, he told me, they started saying, yo, fuck your manager, fuck him, he's a piece of shit, fuck him. He called him back and told him to come here and fucking fix this. Whoa, I've been nice to these people all the time. And know what they did? They want to pick it up a chair and throwing it at one of my employees and walking out saying, you fucking niggers. All we ever did was show empathy, benevolence, calm, peace, tranquility, and support. But guess what? True colors come out when shit hit the fan. Know your enemies, people. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans need to know your enemies. Just because they, mind you, it says their wiles were smoother than oil, but war was in their hearts. Wait, is that the right precept?
Yep.
Grab that.
Say it again.
They wiles were smoother than oil, but war was in their hearts.
The words were smoother than
Isaiah 55:21.
oil. Yep.
Yeah. Salaki
War
about
was in their heart.
but war was in their heart.
You said it right.
Bro, this is how they naturally feel about you. So us talking about them and throwing it in their faces, this is how you are. This is you. This is you. You want to know why so-called black and brown people don't like you? It's because of what y'all do. Because naturally we leave y'all the fuck alone, but y'all won't leave us the fuck alone.
I got something. It's not that, but it's the same.
Go
Same
ahead.
thing. Ecclesiasticus 12:16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Facts. So I was helping these people. For them to say, my employee called me. I thought he was going to call me and say, hey, I got it fixed. Everything's good to go. He called me. Man, should I call the cops? I said, bro, what's going on? He said, man, they this what happened. They called me a nigger, threw a chair at me. I said, what? Mind you, what makes this thing work funnier is the old woman's probably again her late 70s, 80s, and she looked like she on crack, old decrepit ass, invalid type, right? But guess what? Her daughter, the one who threw the chair, is a paraplegic, has no leg, has got a prosthetic leg, walks around with a prosthetic leg. So I'm like, the Lord already jacking these people up. No wonder they so damn angry. And guess what? Their true colors come out. This is how they naturally feel about you, and it only took for one little thing they didn't get their way for them to show you how they feel. This is why, so you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that want to sit here and join hands with Esau, thinking that it's all peaches and cream, you on crack cocaine. They imagine, they say, oh, you ever fake smiles, they walking down the street, don't smile at me because I know it's fake. But in their head, they're probably thinking, or they probably think, I wish I could just throw him in prison and kill them all. Genocide. Look how they spoke about the children in Palestine. Palestine was literally 51% children, and they were glorifying and killing more of them. If they can do that to children that look almost identical to them because they were light-skinned children, what do you think they think of you, the lowly, the lowest of the low? Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 16, starting at 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb.
Ah, you found it.
Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
So what is basically, you know how a woman, I'm just going to break that down, you know how a woman is going into labor, and at first they're like how close are the contractions? Right? If they're farther apart, they're like, oh, the baby's not coming yet. And then as the contractions get closer and closer, we know that what the inevitability is, the baby will be born. What this scripture is basically saying, as more and more destruction and more turmoil happens on the earth, as they become closer and closer, because usually it's like something happens, only one thing happened that whole year. Correct. Now it's like this happened, next month that happened, next month this happened. Then all of a sudden they're getting closer and closer. We're getting closer to the inevitable, which is what? World War III, the destruction of Esau, the second coming of Yahushua, and the rulership being passed from one people to another. This is what we're getting closer to. That is exactly the precept I was looking for. For Wada, all praise to the Most High, man. For Wada. This is what we know, man. You people need to start putting your head on a swivel, because the more and more, mind you, what's crazy is this: Esau is also evil to his own people. So what do you think is going to happen? The more and more his own people, their own people starts to feel the pressure that you've been feeling all your life. Remember this: Esau's not built to withstand it. They're used to the living you. Oh my God! If he would have just complied with the cops, he wouldn't have got beat up.
They're not built for slavery.
That's how they think, knowing that damn, he only being treated that way because of the color of his skin. But guess what? Esau, Amalek, Chief House, don't care about his own people. He want to enslave them too. So what do you think is going to happen when they start feeling the pressures that the so-called black man feels? They're going to start lashing out.
Sounds like people under 30.
They're going to start, hold up. This is why you're going to have civil war. Egyptian against Egyptian. And what's the first thing these people are going to do? They don't want to blame their own, because one thing you learn about Esau, he doesn't hold his own accountable. How do we know that? An Edomite can shoot up a whole school, kill 30 people. What's the first thing they show on the news? Oh, he was a great kid. He was just going through some mental health issues. He was a fucking demon. He grew up with nothing but demons, and all his existence was nothing but demons. You don't want to call it how it is. Why? Because they don't hold each other accountable. But what's the first thing they do when they can't hold each other accountable? They blame who? Us. And what happens when they blame us? Bloodshed. Hatred goes up even more. Oh, this is all happening because of the immigrants. This all happened because of the Haitians. This all happened because of the Negroes. This all happened because of the blacks. That's the first thing they're going to do. It's their natural proclivity to blame someone else other than looking inward, because who controls the kingdom? How are you mad at the people who have no right to even write a law in your book to blame, when you are the ones who write the law books, create the history, you own everything, but then you blame us for the plight of your kingdom? Ha ha ha. Ah. And guess what? Judgment's coming. It's a beautiful thing. I actually love the word judgment. Judgment? Judgment. Ooh, judgment. Ooh. Judgment. Doesn't it just sound good? Judgment. Hey, yo, from now on, I'm going to just start saying, yo, judgment. That's all you got to say. Look at them. They start acting all crazy. My employee got all, oh, I'm so pissed off right now. She called me a nigger, threw a chair at me. I said, bro, calm your spirit. That's what I'm trying to say. Calm your spirit, bro. Calm your spirit. I said, calm your spirit. If anything, call the cops. Right? Even my little brother said, call the cops. Call the cops. I told him to. I said, call the cops.
You gotta use their system.
Use their system against them. Now, mind you, it might not work in your
It
area.
don't matter.
But guess what?
You trying to fight them carnally, you're gonna
exactly.
lose
You're
10
gonna lose.
times out of 10.
That's why the Lord says what? Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Use their system against them. Even if it might not work, at least it's documented. One thing about Esau, he likes to write everything down. He writes everything down.
They might not do nothing on the first call, but guess what? Like you said, it's documented. So then they come back and call again. It's like, all right, yo.
All right, well, we gotta do something about it because we're gonna look better if we don't do our jobs.
Yeah.
As simple as that, man. You know, I told him to calm your spirit. I said, bro, calm your spirit, man. I said that word means nothing to you, man. That word means nothing to you. Yeah, I get how it felt, but it's only a feeling. Just a word. At the end of the day,
They think it. You know that they think it. So what difference is it if they
bro,
say
all
it?
day long they walk in our store, they probably around you. And in my building, I do exactly what they do. I only hire Israelites. So guess what? You walk in my building, and mind you, this is an affluent area with nothing but mini mansions and Lamborghini trucks and shit outside. So guess what? You know this area, and they walk in my store, they like, oh, there's nothing but brothers in here, and I'm like, yup, yup. How you doing? They like, I remember one time I was trained. Oh, this is how evil these motherfuckers are. Let me tell you how my boss calls me and says, yo, I need you to train another manager before we send him to his new store. The manager that he wanted me to train was an Edomite, right? He's training. Customer walks in. I go and greet the customer first. You're quiet. So let's say you're the Edomite, you're quiet because you're just observing. I go, hey, how you guys doing? How can we help you? This motherfucker looks straight to him and starts talking to him like I'm not standing right here. He's like, he don't know what to talk about because he don't know the job. I'm teaching him. I'm sitting here and I shut up and I listen. I said, they think he the manager just because he white? And I looked. He said, well, you know, and he said it. And he said, well, I'm just training. He's the manager. And they looked over, double took. And I just looked over and smiled. I said, yeah, how can we help you? And guess what? In my head, I was like, it's fine. It's okay. You're going to slavery anyway.
That's how I look at it.
Hey, bro, you don't, there's no reason to get up angry about it. They're going into slavery anyway. The Lord says, vengeance is mine. You understand, it's one thing to go to war with another nation. It's another thing to go to war with the Lord. They're going to be forced to go to war with the Lord, a war that they cannot win. All the technology that the Lord allowed them to amass and create, and all the demonic energy and demonic demons and the evil angels that was feeding them shit, like, yo, yeah, here's some nuclear, here's this, here's some atomic, oh, here's some lasers, here's some this. And they thinking, yeah, man, we're going to have the great system. Anything come out the sky, we're going to be able to get it. Oh.
That's why I said they think they can break their cords asunder, but the Lord on the throne.
Just get it. Just get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Actually, we could probably end with that precept too. To be honest with you.
Psalms 2, starting at 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? Vain meaning what? Worthless thing. They believe that they're going to get a new world order. They believe that they're going to subdue the Almighty himself. They believe that they are going to ascend into the clouds in the heavens and be like the Most High. They believe that they can eradicate the children of Israel. They believe that they're going to be able to put the world back into slavery and they're going to rule in offset prophecy. Why do they imagine a vain thing? Bro, it's insanity. It's never going to happen. You really think the Creator created you and then gave you enough power to be able to overthrow him? Make it make sense. But guess what? The illusion is real. Keep going.
The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision.
He who sit up in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord is laughing at him because he's amused by the pride. He like, damn, I know I created these fucking devils, but yeah, did I make him this prideful? He probably up there laughing with his angels. Like, yo, look what he did. Look. They got a whole council talking about that they seen crafts flying in the sky. They said they're going to be able to shoot us down. They got new hypersonic missiles and shit. They can go past radar. Did he know that we can go faster than the speed of light? Actually,
You see that on video when a chariot intercepted.
exactly. But the fact that they even believe that they can contend with the Lord is just. Esau, your day is coming. Your wickedness and everything you sowed upon the earth, which you sow, ye shall also reap. He who killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. He who leadeth into captivity must be killed. He who leadeth into captivity must go into captivity. This is the faith and the patience of the what?
Saints.
So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'arakakadash. Give honor to the elders and apostles, and shalom to elect. Shalom to all you brothers and few sisters on the comment board. Shalom.